see the birth of the magician before our very eyes. What's up, guys? I'm here, and we are going to do a breakdown and review and live reaction to chapter 242. I was about to say Jujutsu. I'm so bad. I so much Jujutsu guys on the brain as of recent. But live reaction to chapter 242 of Blue Lock, also known as Peak Lock, also known as Ness backstory. Ness backstory right now, right here, right now. Do I need to pull up the Ness image? I meant to pull up the Ness image. Honestly, I'm actually very, very excited to see the backstory for Blue Lock's. Is it Blue Lock's biggest laser? Like, it's a competition between Ryo and I was about to say Ryo and Shigiri, but that's fan and Shigiri, not actual canon Shigiri. But the biggest competition is between Ryo and Ness, and we got some W glaze. Let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Ready. 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with the pencil here. And fun fact. You know, I got it on me, and I keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, for that fun fact, it's Peak Lock, aka Peak every week. And honestly, we're getting backstory on one of my favorite characters that have been introduced in the new Justice League. I'd say Ness overall is low-key a top 15 character for me, to the point where I think I've shown this image before. I still need to make the Ness video, but I was kind of waiting for something like this to make the Ness video. So, hallelujah, thank you Nomura Sensei. I thought I was gonna have to wait forever. Like, I thought I was really gonna have to wait until like maybe even like middle of PXG. But we're doing this pre-PXG. Ooh, I'm a little bit excited, but you know, I've had a Ness. A Ness draw cooking in the background for a while now, so you know Ness, he's actually low-key one of my favorites. I've been waiting. When was this made? I forget exactly when it was made. That's an old image too, because that's around way back when. But that's the thing. Your boy is actually a huge fan of Ness, and I know, considering I've had quite critical. My friends would be saying I'm being too soft when I say that, but quite critical opinions of Chigiri. I keep saying Shigiri. Why is Shigiri the only coming to mind? I've been consuming way too much Blue Lock fanfiction. Way too much Boy Love fanfiction. But with that being the case, I've obviously been slightly, I've been very rough on Ryo. Alright? I won't even lie. I've been extremely rough on Ryo. So, I know we all are gonna be like, really? Really, Pencil Man? You like Ness? But you don't like Ryo? I do like Ryo. Ryo's still a top 15 character for me. I just don't like him as much as I think I could like him if he actually, you know, had an ego of his own. But enough talking about Ryo. Let's actually see what's up with the magician, Ness. Yo, what is with every single Blue Lock character just being a carbon copy of their mother? Then again, ironically enough, if you were to ever meet that mom with a pencil, I'm literally her exact twin. Like verbatim. For the longest time, I didn't look like her. But like now I look like an exact carbon copy of that mom with the pencil. So I guess maybe this is a thing. Maybe just kids just copy their opposite. But then again, I'm trying to think of some of my cousins who like, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like face to face. But then again, now I think, but I do see it. But then again, I don't know. A lot of people just tend to look a lot like their mom in my family. That's just a me thing though. Who do you look more like? Of your parents or any of your relatives? Do you look more like the male members of your family, more like the female members of your family? Let me know. But darn, man, that's literally just female Ness. Like, literally just put the hair down, like take the hair. I get where like some of the father's influences, because her hair seems a lot smoother, while the fluffier nature of Ness's hair seems to come from his dad. But like, dog, this is the Hiyori situation, this is the Chigiri situation, this is, honestly, it's even the Isagi situation. For some reason, all the Blue Lock characters are just carbon copies of their mother. It's like Fire Emblem Awakening all over again. Yeah, I'd say Awakening, because I think, yeah, the male kid, in Fates, the reason there are so many characters in that game is because male and female characters have kids. So, like, dog. Crazy, the resemblance here, but let's see. My parents are both scientists. Am I really giving Ness this voice? Yes. Yes, I am. Did I think I may have hit my eyebrow by accident. Did I? I literally cannot tell if I hit my eyebrow by accident. But with it being the case, my parents are both scientists. Chapter 242, The Blue Rose and the Magician, Part 1. Okay, it's perfect. So this is going to be a multi-parter. How many parts? I'm interested. Let's see. Ness's past is finally revealed. Finally. Finally.
「
Finally?
finally? 」
Finally? 」
「 finally? 」 « 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 finally?」 « finally?」 « finally?」 「finally?」 « finally?」 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 « finally?
Come on now, Bucko. Come on now, Bucko. What you mean, finally? We ain't been waiting that, have we? It's been a while. And I think about it, we've been with Ness for like 2 years. So yeah, actually, it is kind of a finally kind of thing. Let's see. Now, this past is finally revealed. In a lonely, isolated world, the thing that BM's magician desired the most. But that's an opening line. My parents are both scientists. Ever since I was born, my parents drilled into me that everything in the world could be explained through logic. Honestly, that's kind of a belief I have myself. Like, I don't know. Once again, ironically, your boy's taken numerous different paths in life. That's why I'm here. But your boy was low-key looking to be a scientist for a long time. And even then, even if I didn't decide to walk down that path, I still do live by a mostly logical mindset. I'm thinking, like, I do believe in free will. Don't get me wrong. I joked about, and I forget which video I was talking about. I do believe in free will. I was joking about that. I don't have any concerns about free will. But I do think you can kind of logically trace back almost everything based on previous experiences, scientific method. Like, your boy's a big proponent of that. So I kind of understand this as parents already. Like, I mean, yeah. I'm no scientist, but I do believe the same thing. Everything in the world can be explained through logic. If it didn't, I don't think the world would kind of function. Like, if mathematics and science did not operate in the way that they did, I don't think we'd be able to exist. So, yeah, seemingly enough, logic can be traced back through everything, let's say. Oh, shoot, Ness. What happened, broski? Did you get potty bagged? Pop, do I need to go even higher? I give Ness, as an adult, this kind of voice. So, to go even higher, Papa, can you heal this with a healing spell? I remember the days when I thought my parents could use magic. They couldn't. They were just very, very strong. But let's see. No, Alexis. That's way too deep. No, Alexis. You must quickly clean the wound and disinfect it. Oh, okay. Okay, but Ness Papa, that's like a couple. Like the nose, the cheeks, the arm. Like, that's a couple wounds in Ness Papa. Let's see. If we do not clean the wound, there's a chance it would get infected and slow down the healing process. Healing. But I'm going to assume that's an autocorrect thing. Because, like, L and R are nowhere near each other on the keyboard. But let's see. If that happens, the wound would become neurotic. And it's the worst case scenario. You'll perish. What? Whoa! Well, I guess if you are leaving. Then again, like, anything in life, low-key. Like, I was having a talk with one of my friends. And we were like, you know, realistically, not neurotic, necrotic. Let me see. What is that word? Because your boy does not have that in the database. Necrosis is a form of cell injury which results in premature. Oh yeah, darn. But I forget what even spawned the conversation. But one of my friends, we were chatting. We were like, you know, almost anything in life can take your life, and we were like, well, legally speaking, it is true. You breathe too hard and you could perish. So I get why his dad leaps to the whole necrotic thing, but darn, dog, like, that's your kid. I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't necessarily 100% believe in sugarcoating or like putting earmuffs on your kid. Your kid's gonna experience things in life, so obviously you gotta tell him the truth. But like, dog, he's like 5. What? Why you gotta tell him that he could just perish, dog? Because what's the likelihood of that happening? I mean, I get, you know, infection and stuff like that. And I always say this, clean your wounds. Do not be like me or any of my friends or any of my family and wait forever to clean a wound. The moment you get hurt, especially if like a whole chunk, like there have been times, luckily enough, all the wounds have healed. But there was like a time where actually, that's on my legs now. So that's too much. I've fallen before and I've scraped whole chunks off my arm and I just left it there. Like, just whole exposed skin. I got an infection there. Your boy had to take medicine after that, take antibiotics, because your boy was just too lazy to actually go and clean it. So clean your wounds, gosh darn it. But geez, I'm still here. I turned out all right, mostly. Let's see. Mama, would I perish if I became necrotic? I mean, like, if you, the individual, were. Because necrosis, premature cell end. Necrosis is a form of cell injury which results in the premature perishing of cells in living tissue by autolysis. I mean, like, mostly, I did hit my eyebrow. Or maybe that's just the light. I have no idea. But, yeah, I would presume if you became necrotic, Because that would mean every single cell in you just decided to... Let's see, his mom says no. No, you won't. His mom's face reminds me... It actually... You know what? Her face reminds me of Say. I don't know why. Something about the way she's drawn reminds me of Say. If we treat it properly, the chances of you perishing are 0.01%. Don't bother us with every little cut and injury. You must learn to deal with these situations by yourself. That's right, Alexis. What are you, stupid? Of course, I've seen siblings interact before, and this does seem like a canon event. Like, no matter what, you will always be... even then, this is life. Like, if you're really close to somebody, I don't know about y'all, but, like, insults start flying. Like, it doesn't even take much. It can be entirely unprovoked, too. Stupid, necrotic Ness. Darn. Leave the kid be. Hey, big bro. Oh. And that's another thing. You know, ironically enough, maybe I'd just be a terrible parent. Who knows? Because I low-key kind of do agree with Ness mama too, but not in the sense like, worry about your kids. Take care of your kids. You made them. Or you chose to have them. They're your responsibility. Take care of them. They are durable than you think, but still quite fragile. So I do get the general idea of like, yeah, let your kids mess around. Like, how does that phrase go? Doing dangerous things safely. Like, you can't coddle your kid. You can't coddle. Heck, I can't imagine what I would be like if I was coddled. I was allowed to do anything and everything as long as there was only a 0.01% of my end involved. I climbed anything I could get my hands on. I played sword. Where do you think the obsession with all the swords came from? I played sword fights all the time. Your boy was a dangerous individual. But once again, I made it out fine. Mostly. So I can see where Ness's mom is coming from. Hey, big bro, big sis, is it possible to summon this monster and bring it to life? Whoa, bucko. Well, I mean, if you can control it, like, yo, what I wouldn't give to have Hoopa as a Pokemon, bro. I know it'd be like the worst thing ever, because like if I would ever pop that bottle open and unbound Hoopa were to come out, he started going crazy. But like, still, dog. What I wouldn't give to have Hoopa, if I could just summon him, that's my favorite Pokemon. Which seems so weird considering Gen 5 is my favorite gen. You'd think it'd be a Gen 5 Pokemon that's my favorite, but like, I don't know, Hoopa's just been hitting different for me since day one. I love Hoopa. So if I could get Hoopa, I understand why Ness is asking that. W-mans, but what you want, bruh? Hydreigon? Charmander? What does this even look like? That's a Golem? Bro wants Golurk. Golurk is cool. I'm about to slander Golurk. I can't slander Golurk. Golurk is cool. Now, if he was asking for Stonejourner, we'd have issues. Let's see. What are you talking about, idiot? How many times have we told you? The monster is a figment of imagination? I can't read. Of imagination. There's no such thing as magic, idiot. Are you going on about magic again, Alexis? We told you not to read such garbage, idiot. Darn. You can't have passion? Like, darn. I get it, but you know, I'll chalk up the kids being kids. Some of the meanest, most terrible and horrible things I've ever heard in my days fell out of a child's mouth. They are creative with their insults. And if they aren't creative, they're blunt. It's like there's no middle ground. Like normally once you like age a bit, your insults have to become more complex, so they stay rather simple. But you know, like hit the same line from an adult doesn't hit the same. But like children, they could be vicious. Entirely unprovoked too. They can be vicious. But darn, your own sibling, like, and come on now. Come on. Let the kid have some interest. Let him have some fun in life. What's wrong with him believing in some math? Especially when he's young. Like, I remember for the longest time, I could have sworn one day, if I walked deep enough into the forest and was looking up at the sky just right, I would get the Omnitrix. I'd unlock way big. And I'd pull a Piccolo and destroy them. No, I'm kidding. Because that was how it goes. Like, now, even young me knew that. But like, dog, your boy was convinced the Omnitrix was real because it came from space. Like somehow, my brain made the leap in logic when I was young. Like, oh, of course magic doesn't exist. That's stupid. But mystical, magical aliens? Well, not mystical, magical, but like scientific aliens in outer space? Of course. The universe is huge, so of course there have to be aliens. And there's probably a device that allows you to transform just like the Omnitrix. I was desperate to get one, but obviously, you know. Unless one of y'all got an Omnitrix, you want to slide your boy. I don't think that bad boy's real. Let's see. Darn, they're so cold. And not in the cold, not in the good way. There's no magic in my house. Oh. That's sad. I mean, literally speaking, there is no magic in his house. But, like, in a general sense, too. Like, come on now. Like, and I get it. I also believe in a certain idea. Like, you can't let yourself be lost to fantasy, to delusion, to entertainment. You know, the real world is the one thing that will always be there. Books can burn. CDs can break. I don't know, the game cartridges, you can swallow a game cartridge. I know, like, Nintendo Switch cartridges are like, they're like flavored weird or something to make sure people don't swallow them, but you can do that. But reality will always be there. And I do believe that that is a major thing that should be registered. Probably, I mean, you can do it at a young age just to be safe, but, like, I'd say, like, let the kid have some fun. Let him enjoy himself, right? Like, I get the importance of logic in life, and I'm a person who tries to live mostly by logic, but come on now, be a little bit soft. He's a kid. Let's see. Give me your strength. I summon thee. Watcher Ness. Oh, is that supposed to be a built-in play off of his name? And yo, this is impressive. This is very impressive. Just out of snow, very, very good. And this is such a perfect spear of snow. Let's see. Give me your strength. Watcher Ness. That is a fire fit, though. W fitness. Shut up, Alexis. Because of you, we can't focus on our experience. Yo, hop off. Hop off. I was practicing magic. I wanted a pet, so... Why, you stupid little... How many times have we told you not to talk about magic? Stupid good-for-nothing... Arsh... That's probably something bad in another language. But dog, what? I mean, kids are cruel. Once again, I go back to the idea that kids are cruel. But dog, really? Really? You just leave him, darn. Like, crushing his dream, breaking his... like, ugh. Y'all some terrible people. No wonder Ness turned out the way he did. Why is Isagi the only character in all Blue Lock to have, like, a normal backstory? Shigiri broke his leg, but it seems like he had a loving mother, at least. We don't get to see his dad, ever. I know we got a mention of Kunigami's family. I think Kunigami actually had a relatively normal family life. I know he has 2 younger sisters. I know Baro has a sister. He's just nuts. Baro is just insane. Big ego will do that to you. But I'm trying to think. Other than Isagi? Bachira, we don't get to mention Bachira's dad, and obviously he's nuts too. Nagi's family is apparently fine. They just don't, they just kind of like let him do what it do, and then let it be like. So I guess there are some characters with normal backstory, but jeez. Ness, fight back. Well, let's see. Mama, Papa, Alexis is practicing magic again. Are you sure he's even related to... Jeez! What kind of savagery? You monster, you demons, you beasts. Well, like, that's great. That's great. Like, I can't even think of, like, wow. Questioning his relation to y'all? Right here, right now? That's crazy to me. Snow is is that his mom or his dad? I can't tell. Snow is composed of frozen water crystals, but they also contain dirt particles that were circulating in the air, so please wash your hands before coming inside. We are scientists, Alexis. Our duty is to observe, research, and explain the natural phenomena. People who foolishly believe in the impossible are not wanted in this house. But see, in my opinion, they're not real scientists then. Because, like, go back 100 years. Y'all think we would have been on the moon? Someone would have told you that was impossible, right? Heck, even simpler. Forget the moon. Y'all think people believe that we'd be able to fly through the sky in the air 100 years ago? With like hundreds of people in the air? Consistently on a daily basis? Like, look up a flight tracker. And like, just look up, like, I think there's some website you can go to and it shows you how many flights are in the air. There are like tiers of like hundreds of airplanes that fly every single day. That would have been considered impossible. Heck, a majority of scientific achievement is like doing things that seemed impossible. So, dog, you're kind of stupid. Like, like I get a big part of science is explaining natural phenomena, right? Like trying to figure out why things work the way they do. But once again, a lot of that innate exploration that comes with science is an understanding that things that may seem impossible right now are possible to be done later on in life. So I get the general disinterest of like magic, and I want to promote that because magic is something that's inherently, seemingly enough, impossible. But I wouldn't just say people who foolishly believe in the impossible are not scientists or shouldn't be scientists. Like that's kind of half the point, to discover things that haven't been discovered yet, to do things that haven't been done yet. Kind of wild to me that you would just mystically, magically discourage such things. It's what I don't know. Like even as a person who primarily tries to work by a logic-based mindset, I try to specifically build patterns in my head on how to do things. I try to build my life off of patterns because patterns are easier to remember. They're easy to consistently use. Man, is that actually a gash, or is that like, I literally cannot tell. Sorry, that's gonna keep bothering me every time I look at it. But I don't know. I don't vibe with that. I really don't vibe with that. And like I feel so bad for Ness, because and imagine hearing that from your own father. Your own father. Like, oh yeah, you're passionate about things that are impossible. You know, one of the fundamental goals of a scientist. You suck. Leave. Or no, you're not supposed to be in this house. That's wild. That's wild. Until your youngest kids, like, I at times I can be a pretty dispassionate person. I'll admit, especially in my past, when I was just like, when I was a lot more introverted than I was now, I could definitely understand like being completely disconnected. But dog, you have kids. Like, that's your baby, presumably. Like, I don't know. Ness doesn't look any more older than, like, 5. And you're telling him that he should be disowned. Boy, if you don't, like, dog. Maybe, you know what? Maybe wrong one. Maybe I need to, just maybe, do we need to have a talk, Mr. Ness? Let me know. Because if we do, I'll find you. And I'll show you the beauty of the impossible. No, but still, that's crazy. I still can't imagine doing that to your own kid. No, once again, you know what? This explains why he latched so hard onto Kaiser. Like, I'm assuming the rest of the chapter is going to be explaining that. But, like, this would explain why he latched so hard and is so down bad for Kaiser. Because that was one of the biggest things I was wondering, right? Like, how are you going to justify Ness latching on so hard? Even for, like, Rayo. There's justification for why he rides Nagi as much as he does. Because Nagi is a goal. Well, he's a goal maker that gives Rayo the path to his dream of winning the World Cup. Something that his father didn't believe he should do or would be difficult for Rayo to do. So I got that. And even Rayo's obsession with Nagi. As much as I, like, gas it up as something that's a little bit weird, a little bit too much, a little bit crazy, being real with you, it's not that deep. They're just really, really good friends. And obviously Rayo just cares about Nagi a lot because Nagi is a crucial part of his goal. But the thing and another thing that's very specific, while there is definitely some weird emotional implications on the unhealthy dynamic between Rayo and Nagi, because I still say it's unhealthy. I understand why people don't think it is, but I still say it's pretty unhealthy just based on how we see the two treat each other. If they're unhealthy, Kaiser and Ness is just straight toxic, and it is. So I was always wondering, how are we going to justify that for Ness? But if he's not even finding basic, I guess, like, basic love, because this is the basic of basics, like telling your kid that you're happy that he exists and you're happy that he lives with you at the age of 5. Nope, you suck, leave, because you don't think scientifically 100% of the time. Dog, what? Of course, presumably Kaiser's going to be the first person in his life to actually show him any sort of care or any sort of affection at all. And sure, it's going to come with a whole bunch of negativity, but all Ness is going to be able to focus on is the affection, because he's clearly not getting that from Scientist 1, Scientist 2, Scientist 3, and I guess the mom, who couldn't care less. Dog. Yeah, he definitely got the short end of the gene pool. We wasted so much time because of that doofus. Back to the research. Research! Like, just leave. I don't know. And like, once again, I understand being annoyed by loud kids. Like, one of my friends has told me repeatedly she would never have kids because she just hates the idea of them being loud and annoying. And that's fine. Once again, I don't judge people for that. But my thing is, that's your own little sibling. Like, do you have no heart? like, I don't know. Like, I think of whenever I'm with any of my younger family members, whether they be whether they be 15 years younger than me or 15 months, I always look at them protectively. And those are my family members, like cousins and stuff like that. Heck, even cousins, like the close friends of my family, of my parents, who have deemed one of my uncles an uncle and one of my aunts an aunt. You know if you know. Even them and their descendants or their family. Yeah. I look at them carefully and with care, even as like, I can even think of that way back when I was more like these people. Like, a strictly, I operate solely by optimal function. Anything else but optimal function is a waste of time and is thus invalid. Like, even when I was on my big iRobot beef or my iRobot self-dog, I cannot imagine being so mean to a baby. I don't know. Ness is basically a baby and they're just crushing him like this. This is awful. Scientist, my foot. You reject magic because you can't explain it in a scientific manner. I'm not saying any of these words because I don't know what they mean. I assume they're German, but I don't know. You blank. Don't even try to understand the sadness within my heart. Ironically enough, they should be able to explain that because they're just being terrible human beings. But darn, that's tragic. Your own family being ops. Unfortunately, that is a much more common conclusion than one would hope for. But darn, your own family crushing your dreams like that. I can't imagine that was any way. Whew, man, rough. It's rough for Ness out here. I truly believe that magic does exist. When I first read that book, I was so excited. I couldn't sleep the entire night. None of you can explain what I felt in that moment. Well, legally speaking, you had a reaction to a phenomena that released a chemical in your brain called dopamine, and likely due to your previously existing environment, it was a level of dopamine never before seen within you, thusly raising your standards quite high. This typically happens when someone's first finding their passion or obtaining a passion in general, whether it be a passion that they obtain when they're a child or a passion that they obtain later in life. And thusly, this passion will release a massive amount of dopamine, and what you will do is continuously chase that previous release. Though typically, unless something extremely extenuating happens, something of that level of dopamine will never happen again, due to the fact that the first one is where you got the major hit from, and everything else is just a returning hit of lower and lower quality and value over time. Being real. So legally speaking, it can be explained. But once again, that's just me being mean, dog. I understand what he means. I search for magic every day. Unlike the rest of my family, I like dealing with fiction rather than fact. Even if my family likes to brush off fiction as magic, then I believe the world is filled with magic and adventure. That indescribable feeling, that indescribable sadness, I can't explain it. That's interesting. I'd say I've felt magic before. There being a moment, an experience with certain people, I'd say I've felt magic before. That euphoria, that feeling of absolute freedom. Ironically enough, I'd say the flow state itself almost feels like magic. Like, once again, I haven't achieved it in a physical way. Like, but like, that's a lie. Even longer than that, most likely. But that feeling of like absolute and perfect immersion in something where like your brain is kind of just gone and you're just all muscle memory. It is one of the most indescribable feelings ever. And once again, it does not need to happen. As Ego mentions in Blue Lock way earlier on, it doesn't need to just happen in physical sports. You can enter the flow state at any time. But at least the one that has happened that one that's happened to me, that was my initial release of dopamine. And I've been chasing that ever since. Was that race, was that 200-meter dash where I literally felt myself, what felt like me breaking down into atomic particles. when I just gave everything, I sacrificed and laid it all down. That magic, I understand that. I feel that. And like, trust me, I do wish from the bottom of my heart, I woke up one day and just boom, I could summon this bad boy to my hands. And it was the real version of it. Like not simply a replica, but no, I could just wake up one day and just boom, and suddenly my Keyblade is at hand. I would love that to be a reality. But once again, the rational side of me knows it's not going to happen yet. Who knows? Maybe they'll figure out teleportation technology one day. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. This is a slight tangent, but I wouldn't mind the variation of teleportation that's believed to kind of be a thing if it ever were to happen, just based on, the laws of physics and stuff like that, and conservation of mass, and the inability for two things to exist in the same place at once, unless you go with some like theoretical physics. But that idea, I brought it up before, the idea that would you teleport if, in order to teleport, instead of like them just moving your body through space, like they do in fiction, they had to break down your original body, destroy it, and then implant a copy of your memories in an exact duplicate. Knowing the original you would cease to exist, would you still want to teleport? Yeah, me personally, I would never do that. But if I could do it for like any of my possessions, if I could just like completely annihilate like my phone or a Keyblade, for example, on one side, wherever it was, and then in my hand, I could spawn it, but it wouldn't be the original. I'm really low-key be down for that. And then that'd be cool, because I could just shatter it and then just immediately recreate another one. But that's the only kind of teleportation I'd be down for. But still, I get that idea that Ness is mentioning here. The idea of magic, the idea of adventure. The million running from dogs is kind of hilarious. And yup, this is where he felt the magic of football for the first time. Once again, your boy, despite being a massive Blue Lock fan, I'll be real with you, I didn't even know how the World Cup worked. Thank you for the person who clarified that the World Cup is nation exclusive. Yeah, well, yeah, no clue. I had no idea. You think I'd be able to infer that? Had not a clue in the world. So I appreciate that clarification. So your boy isn't necessarily the hugest football fan out there, but I still do like it. And I can definitely understand how a person who lacks passion, or was not allowed to even have passion. I wouldn't say Ness lacks passion. It seems like he's overflowing with passion, if anything. A passion, a desire that's more pure than anything else. But as a person who was unable to express it, was never given the safe environment to express it, I assume this heavy concentration of such a joy and chaos and love and passion all flowing through a moment like this would reach, yep, look at that face. He's addicted. This would reach Ness in his deep, special, sweet little heart. And this is what would give him that feeling of magic. Because I've met people like that before. And some people, I'm not sure if it was on a Blue Lock review, someone pointed out the idea that I know a whole bunch of people. But hey, when you're as old as I am, and you try to communicate with as many people as I do, you meet a lot of people in life. Alright? I bet and ironically enough, typically when I reference people, it's like the same 8 people. I think specifically for videos, going off the top of what I remember, maybe it's more, but I think I've only referenced in specific 8 people. Specifically, whenever I reference, I have a rather tight-knit group of friends, if I have to say so myself. It just sounds like a lot of people because, people are complex and they have multiple aspects, but I remember seeing that comment and being like, darn. I mean, legally speaking, you're right. I do bring up a whole bunch of people. But I do have a friend who has this kind of passion for sports. Not just football, but like sports in general. Like that feeling of absolute euphoria. They have season tickets to their favorite teams across multiple sports. They love going on the field. They love playing the sport themselves. They are locked in with their passion for sports. Do I personally understand it? I hate to say it, but no. No, I like sports, but like I've never necessarily gotten the deep particular passion behind it. I don't even like watching sports all too much. I prefer to play the sport myself. So, and once again, like I said, the passion isn't really that high for even playing the sport. So watching the sports passion is even lower. I'm much more there for the experience of watching with other people because I enjoy being around other people, enjoying their passions. But I can understand why, once again, the fever, the energy here would grab Ness like nothing else. Because once again, it is a sort of indescribable, yep, football, this is true magic. Yep, I can understand that. Because it is kind of an indescribable phenomenon. Have you ever, like, tried to break down why you like something? And not even like in a narrative format way. Like, I can tell you why I like Jujutsu Kaisen. I can tell you why I love Blue Lock. I can tell you why I love a bunch of other series or certain characters within series. But, like, have you ever tried to break down the phenomena of liking something? Like, sure, you can go back to the dopamine release example that I mentioned earlier. But, like, how come there isn't a repeated stimuli? How come there are people like me who are mostly indifferent to watching sports? At the same time, there are people who were willing to spend hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds of thousands, well, it depends on how rich they are, but hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on sports. How are there people like me who love anime and manga? And presumably people like you who love anime and manga. And yet there are people who can't stand this stuff. How can there be such a broad scope of likes, if not for magic, that uniqueness that every individual person has? I don't know. And to that degree, I agree, this sort of magic that exists, this passion, this flame that ignites and connects people, I think it's really, really sweet. And I love that Ness found football, something that will allow him something that will allow him to experience the magic he's not allowed to experience because the magic he wants to see just really isn't all that real. Let's see. With a single goal, a player can ignite the crowd, whip the stadium into a frenzy, provide a sense of euphoria that transcends all logic. I found them. And it's true. It's true. And I think people have always, I think anyone who's existed on the internet has seen the craziness that happens at sports games. Or anything. Realistically, at sport games, concerts, any sort of live event, heck, even at home, like reaction videos of themselves. Like the kind of euphoria you can see in some people whenever they react to stuff or break stuff down or get shocked by something. Yeah, that's something that feels unique and seems to transcend logic. Why would that have such a reaction for someone else, but not for you or anything like that? So I understand why Ness is so captured by this feeling. Let's see. I found them. Football players are magicians. This is what I want to do. I want to become a footballer. Oh, that's so neat. Is he an idiot? Ignore him. Forget about him. He'll come crying back to us in no time. Darn that. But here's, like, I can't necessarily compare myself to Ness, right? Because admittedly, your boy was not just raised conventionally, and luckily enough raised in a loving household, but also, like, my goals were also very typical. Do well in school. Get a good job. The end. So like, I don't have any dispassionate, my interests don't directly conflict with my own parents' ideologies. So I cannot relate to this. But like, I'm trying to think, what can especially if my child's passionate about something, am I really going to be there trying to kick them down? Be like, oh, you shouldn't be passionate about this. You suck. And I mean, like, you start to beat them. Like, why would I want that for my own kid? Especially like, it's so hard for some people to find things that they love, things that they're passionate for. It's difficult. It's not an easy endeavor. So when my kid finds that, when little guy or little gal with a pencil finds that thing that they're passionate about, be it's pencils and content creation and my work or anything like that, I'm going to be happy for them. I can't imagine the idea of my own child, even if my other two kids follow my exact same interests, right? Because like, I'll admit, I'm low-key a carbon copy of my parents. It happens like that when you're raised by the two of the same people. But I can't even imagine. Say my kid goes in the exact opposite direction. They come to me one day and be like, Dad, I hate content creation and your specific line of work. I'd be like, okay, what do you like? As long as it's not anything like self or just in general destructive, I don't care. I'll be happy for him, if anything. So that's wild. I can't believe Mr. Ness is so darn. He's just so sick. I'll show them. I'll turn pro. Get called up to, I have the national team. One day. And then I'll become a player that will entrance the world with my magic. Aw, see, that's cool. Once again, I do like that. And hey, I'll admit it. Spite can be one of your best motivators. Don't let it be your only motivator. Don't let you be solely motivated off spite, because once again, everything is diminishing returns. So you kind of want multiple streams of motivation if you're going to plan to do something, especially something extreme. But, or at least something that requires extreme dedication. If you're like debating on, should I go around the corner and get that ice cream? Then maybe, yeah, obviously that's not going to take too much dedication. But if you're like committing to a life goal like this, like just the general conditioning that bench warmers in professional sports need to have is better than like 99% of the population. Being real with you. For you to be a bench player on most professional teams, you need to be more physically fit than 99% of the population. The only people who are going to rival you are other athletes. And like people who train in combat sports, which you could technically argue are also just athletes, or anyone in any sort of organized fighting force. It's going to be them who are going to be as conditioned. The average person, heck, me, I'm just an average guy. You're always nowhere near as conditioned as the average sports player is going to be. And that takes dedication. For it, the people in my comment section who've gone through things like that, you know. Well, if you're trying to commit yourself to something, especially something physical, that takes a whole bunch of dedication and effort. And sure, spite may start you on the right path. Heck, you could argue spite started me on the right path. Though admittedly, I wouldn't call me wanting to say that the Seven Deadly Sins beat the Akatsuki spite. It was just like an argument. But with that being the case, it's good to use it as fuel. Just don't let it be your only fuel source. Let genuine passion guide you in life as well. It can take you a whole lot farther than spite ever will. But with that being the case, let's see. Whoa, nice goal, Ness. You're invincible in this town. Hurry up and turn pro, Ness. Aw. Hey, kid, if you're interested in turn pro, want to try out for our club? Okay, that's good. And I do like that. That is very true to the world. You can just get spotted anywhere. You always want to show off your best no matter what, because things can happen just like that. Life is funny in that way. Life will always keep moving forward and backwards and up and down and left and right. It's consistently moving. So Ness getting scouted makes sense. BM Academy. Let me see. Do I recognize any of these guys? That's just a blonde Corona. Why do you look like this? He looks familiar, and he looks familiar. But darn, BM. Tryouts. All right. So obviously we know the end result of this. Ness makes the team, but let's see. I can't get over. Does he have sharp teeth too? He kind of does. This is just Corona. Is you German, broski? Well, let's see. They're huge. Kaneshiro Sensei. Stop with this dialogue, bro. We're not beating the allegations, Kaneshiro Sensei. You need to stop with this They're huge. You couldn't have worded that any other way, my friend. You couldn't have worded that any other. They're huge. What? They're beefy. They're girthy. All their musculature is pulsing. What other words you want to use? Huh? Kaneshiro Sensei? Really? They're huge. That's the first thing that comes to mind when he sees them? Really? But nah, yeah, not kidding. And they look strong. You know what you're doing with this kind of wording, bucko. You can't fool me. Let's see. No, I'll show them. If I show results in this, the intra-squad scrimmage, the chances of me scoring a pro contract with BM, the strongest club in Germany, will skyrocket. My dream of becoming a magician will come true. Okay, Ness Cook. Ooh, I like that ball design. I really like that. Oh, I like that ball design. I know it's a simple inversion, but for some reason, the mostly black ball with white spots. I like that design. That's very, very neat. Let's see. Ness about to cook. Look at them ankles, bro. Look at them ankles going to work. Bro is weaving. And these people are on the team already, right? They're wearing the outfits. That's wild. Hey, number 20, I'm open. Dude, you're too slow. It can't be helped since such a makeshift team. Guess I'll pass to... Uh-oh. Is this what's his name? That looks like what's his name? He has a Caesar in the curve. I'm not sure if these are people from the team already or if these are just like random designs. Just still, he looks familiar. Guess I'll pass to... Huh? I already got past this guy, but he's already here? Oh no, these guys are totally different from the players I'm used to facing. I mean, yeah. I ain't nothing more humbling than leaving your own hometown. I remember I thought I was him. I thought, especially when I was young, and I was like leaving middle school, I thought I was a Speedy Gonzalez. It was the fast. I was. A little badge of honor. We had speedy people races, and I was the most speedy of speedy people leaving my middle school, going to high school. So I was like, you know your boy. I was so slow. I was so slow in my freshman year of high school. Your boy had to go into the hyperbolic time chamber for real. And even then, I saw the fight the next year. So, like, it's very easy to be a big fish in a small pond. So I understand this is like shock horror at the level of people in the real world, especially going towards the pro world. I never even dabbled my toes anywhere near the professional stuff. So, I can understand Ness's shock and awe at the raw power that he's facing. Is this the level of those who are seriously trying to turn pro? Even though I can't just keep up with them with my technique and creativity. When it comes to tactics and coordination play and transition, these guys are on a totally different level. That is true, though. That's just a general thing in life. Pick wisely. Like the people, not just the people you associate with, but the people you work with in particular. And even then, there are a lot of times in life where you can't pick who you work with. That's kind of just like a thing that happens in life. But hey, I'd say try it. Always try to be a little bit selective, because you'll always better yourself by having good competition. Like, I'll admit, whenever your boy tries to hop on a fighting game or anything of any sort, I try to compare myself or throw myself up against walls, people who are either at my skill level or higher, because that's when you do the most growth. I mean, sure, it's good to learn combos on people, like, you know, the one guy. He can't play fighters to save his life, but he's a moving target. So I always try to practice optimal combos on him so I can reinforce it in actual real games. But still, I feel like I've had some of my best like mid-match growth, my best adaptability in all walks of life whenever I've been playing against someone who's either on my level or better. And when you consistently try to stick around people who are slightly beneath your level or way beneath your level, you'll find yourself stagnating, if not falling lower, just because you aren't being stimulated enough and you don't have enough like incentive to go any further and break your limits. Let's see. No. My magic is powerless against the world? Darn. It's gotta be heartbreaking, bro. Finding out you're not him, just like that, this gotta hurt. Let's see. What the heck are you doing? You're too slow. Let's see. Get rid of the ball quicker, slowpoke. How many times are you gonna let them steal the ball from you? Yeah, it's kind of rough. Shut up. Stop. There's no such thing as magic. People who flashing back to his parents. People who foolishly believe in magic are not wanted in this house. Stupid. Idiot. Failure. Dog. I know we all are probably getting sick and tired of me glazing Nomura at every single opportunity, bro. But dog. And like here's the thing, right? When it comes to Nomura's art style in particular, shockingly enough, it's not the worst for me, right? Like I'd say, especially once again, I'm trying to expand better in digital art. This is a drawing review for another series, but like, for example, this. It's a pretty difficult art style for me because of all the extra armor detailing. If I were to, let me see, did I use layers on this one? Nope. Looks like your boy did a wombo combo of literally everything. So I can't move the layers, but even just like removing all the extra detail, just the base design is hard for me. But like Blue Lock, for some reason, I'm able to relatively easily adjust to the style. Admittedly not perfectly, like this is not a perfect recreation of Best Boy, but like it's there. It's something that's feasible. But somehow Nomura always takes it to a different level. Obviously, whenever I activate my Sharingan and I look real hard at other artists and try to take pieces of their art style to add to my own, or even just take their art, like I obviously miss certain details, sometimes purposefully, most of the time accidentally. But I don't know, Nomura, he's just so different. Such simple designs, too. These aren't complicated designs, but the simple inversion of them looks so good here. Fantastic work by Nomura. I hate this. My magic. Hey, loser. Do you believe in the impossible? speaking of the main man himself, who decided to show up. This would have been before he dyed his hair or something. Number 11. As he sees his magic get stymied during the BM tryouts, Ness loses the will to fight, lying on the ground. His ego in tatters and on the verge of despair, Ness looks up to see Kaiser towering over him. How will these two combine forces to join the footballing giant that is BM? He already had his eyeliner though, the guy liner. He was already built that in. Let's see. To be continued in chapter 243, Blue Rose and the Comedian. Blue Rose and the Magician Part 2. Okay. So, I'm going to do something that's shockcore. I know all the Ness fans, or all the Ness haters out there are going to be like, you blasphemer. How dare you hate Igaguri and not be a fan of Rail, but really, really like Ness. I'm just happy he's in 100% Glazer, and his backstory only makes me appreciate his glazing all the more. So, Ness backstory, definitely something. Whoa, we're tilting, we're breaking reality. But Ness backstory is definitely something that I was not expecting this soon. That we're gonna get it in PXG. I know this soon when the character's been part of the manga for like nearly 100 chapters, but overall, a very, very W backstory. Once again, continuing the trend of Blue Lock parents just being awful, but being awful for different reasons. And once again, like I mentioned, I can somewhat see the ideology, sort of, behind Ness's parents. The idea of logic governing creation. I can even understand the kids, his own siblings, being cruel to him, because I've seen it before. Oh, I've seen it before. Kids can be ruthless, especially to each other. And admittedly, I do kind of wish the mom was a bit more highlight. Like the hatred and negativity very specifically seems to come from his siblings and his father. His mother seems almost indifferent. But I suppose, once again, no matter what, Ness is either direct hatred of his passions that comes from his family, in the case of his siblings and his father, and the general ambivalence that comes from his own mother. I can't imagine that's healthy for him. And once again, this contextualization alone explains why he latches so tightly to Kaiser, why he cleaves so tightly to him. Because Kaiser's likely, once again, the only person in Ness's entire life that's actually shown him any sort of belief in his magic and his ideology and his goals and his dreams of making magic. Kaiser's likely the only one. And heck, look at their first interaction, presumably. Do you believe in the impossible? And that's what Ness has been looking for. The impossible. Things that have yet to occur. In a way, trying to be the ultimate scientist and doing something never seen before. So, of course, Kaiser's the light that guides Ness through the darkness. But I'm very interested to see where this is going to go. Because to be fair, we know where it goes, right? So maybe I shouldn't be getting too hyped. But once again, further contextualization for Ness. I keep stepping on the wire. Further contextualization for Ness and further interactions between Ness and Kaiser to explain Ness's dedication and his willingness to put up with everything, and Kaiser's own perspective. Hopefully we get some W. Kaiser backstory as well. I'm very, very excited. However, if you somehow manage to make it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave the Magic Emperor in the comment section down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reaction to the next chapters of Four Nights of the Apocalypse, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Record of Ragnarok. However, I want to thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dagger the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Connor Plays, Red Wolf, 4765, and Greyhound. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Winter, Victor, Sean, Midnight Gemlord, Kevin, and Demix LND. I'd like to give a scrumptious thank you to our $7 member, Autumn's Morning Lazo. I'd like to give another chunka-dunka thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, and Idem Okami. I'd like to give another thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give
A hefty, thank you to our two $25 patrons, Calvin Elder and Igneel.